Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Bhoge Rogabayam Kule Chudibayam Mitendra Paladbayam Mane Dainyabayam Bale Rupabayam Rupe Jaraya Bayam Shastre Vadibayam Pune Khalabayam Kaye Pratantad Bayam Sarvam vastu bhayanvitam bhuvindranam vairagyameva bhayam. Sarvam vastu bhayanvitam bhuvindranam vairagyameva bhayam. This shloka is from Vairagya Shatakam of Bhartrihari Maharaj. He says, in enjoyment, there is fear of disease. In social position, there is fear of falling off. In wealth, fear of income tax or government. In honor, fear of humiliation. In power, fear of enemies. In beauty, fear of old age. In spiritual erudition, fear of opponents. In virtue, fear of backbiters. In body, fear of death. All things in this world pertaining to men are attended with fear. Renunciation, mental renunciation alone stands for fearlessness.
Thank you. All the fear arises when we see what we see as real. What we see a body as me, and then individuals, second, third person situations all around us as separate to us. In this duality, fear persists. But if we know and we realize that this is all a dream, we are not even part of this dream. In reality, we are the witness to the dream, and we are unaffected by this dream. Then we become fearless. And we become immortal. There is a big difference in living in the body and accepting the concept I am the body. Living in the body and knowing I am not the body. It makes a huge difference. When we say body, don't think body means only this sthul sharira. Mind is part of the body. All the sukshma sharira, causal body, all is part of the body. Giving up the idea I am the body is giving up the idea I am. Giving up the I thought. I thought is bondage. I thought is the cause of birth and death. I thought is the cause of fear. Gaining any of those things which Neelakantan ji said in this verse are gaining only fear. Another important point is that all the thoughts are there to continue and create this illusion. Understand this secret. All thoughts. Because thoughts are not about awareness. Awareness has no mind. It is just, it is pure silence. So all thoughts arises from mind, comes to the someone who thinks I am this mind, and then keeps our mind, our attention externally projected in this world. And that attention which is in the external world all the time keeps this illusion alive. So we are responsible for our illusion, because so many people say why the God created illusion, and then why we need to work hard to get out of the illusion. Both ways, it is no one external, no other God than this whole scheme of things. We are in bondage and we can be free. Both can be done by ourselves. Another important thing to understand is that one thing which we all love and we engage all the time is thoughts. Once you realize that this thought is the cause of bondage, then I would suggest you should be very alert where your attention is, whether in thoughts or whether in silence. More your attention is in silence, less thoughts will come to you, and eventually only silence is left. We have a very powerful tool which we call as attention. Attention on thoughts, thoughts continue. Attention on silence, silence unfolds. So keeping attention on the awareness, keeping attention on the silence within, separates us from the mind, body, and this whole word idea. Not in waking state, but also in dream state. Not just in dream state, but also in deep sleep. Because that awareness which you have realized in the waking stays the same in all three states of mind. It never changes. When the word is not there in deep sleep, awareness is there. When we are in dream, we have this concept of body, but that awareness has no concept. And in waking also, that awareness is the same. So changes are occurring only at mind level, not at our level, self level, Atman level, Brahman level. Atman, Brahman, self, whatever you want to call it, it is always the same. It is indescribable, but it is experienceable by the self itself. When all the superimpositions on us are de-identified by us, when we stop believing that we have any of these, then what is left is that only. Whatever we are perceiving, even at level of mind, there is this Shakti, this power in us which is observing it. It is observing only. It is not judging, it is not criticizing, it is not doing anything, it is not adding anything except awareness to it. This pure awareness is Brahman. Only identify yourself with this Brahman, not with anything else. If we stay with our attention on awareness as awareness, and we keep contemplating on this Brahman all the time by reading scriptures, by remembrance, by attending satsang, a time comes when this stays as it is. No practice needed, because it is so natural. Practice is needed so long our interest is in the mind, in thoughts, in external world, in the body. Once the I am the body idea goes away, 99% of our task also goes away. Taking care of the body, indulging in sensual pleasures of all sorts. Whatever we earn, we spend only on that. Most of us earn only for that reason, that we have to please this body and its senses. Who is this who is pleasing this body? Who is that? Question that entity. If you earnestly question that entity will disappear. There is no entity. And awareness does not need any entertainment. Because if you see, understand philosophy of all sorts of indulgence, it is for happiness or joy or getting some pleasure out of it. But if you are that infinite bliss, then no joy, no pleasure can increase it. You're already infinite bliss. So you're not averse to any of these activities. You might still do it, but not to seek anything out of it. Maybe your prarabdha karmas are keeping you there and it's happening, and that's all okay. If you're born in a house of a king, you have all those costly jewelry and clothes, but they are not bringing any pleasure to you. Or if you're born in a house of a beggar and you don't have even one decent clothing, then also you are happy. This unfoldment is not a small thing. It is huge. Not for just you, for the whole humanity. This work which we do internally, thinking that I am doing, I will get liberated, I will be out of this body, I am the body idea will be lost. It is not for an individual. You need to understand this is for the whole humanity. Innumerable number of beings will get benefit out of it without your knowing, without your intention. Because of that energy which has manifested in you would help so many beings. One light will lighten up so many lights. Be sincere in your sadhana, in your practice, and it should be continuous, uninterrupted throughout the day. Not half an hour, 20 minutes, 2 hours. Because of the simple reason, if it is only 20 minutes, then rest of the time you are indulging with your ego, moving as ego. Then all your efforts are wasted. See, when the sky is clear, no thoughts, how beautifully the self manifests. Keep your attention on pure awareness, as awareness. Let thought come, let mind come, let actions happen, let things happen. Give up your identification. We are worried about thoughts and things only when we identify with them. We are not bothered about others' thoughts. Even if someone comes and tells us, I'm getting this thought and that thought, that doesn't bother us. It is only our own thoughts which bothers us because there is an identity with that, ownership of it. Give up this ownership. In Hindi, there is a very nice proverb, Chinta Chita Saman hai. Chinta means stress or worry is like Chitta. the funeral pyre where you put the dead body and you lit it up. It's like that. If you go deeper into the meaning of this proverb, you will understand the whole truth. Chinta doesn't mean anything else except these thoughts which we are worried of. All these thoughts, personal thoughts, coming from I thought. All these thoughts together will lead us to our funeral. Because thoughts makes us believe we are this body. And 100% guaranteed they will take us to death, to mortality, to the funeral pyre. We all will reach there with these thoughts. These thoughts are taking us there, nowhere else. You think thoughts are taking for achievements, thoughts are helping us with success. This is all sweet poison. At the end, all these thoughts will take us. Take us means this body with this I am the body idea stays with thoughts. Will take us to graveyard. That is their end game. Understand this truth. That is why if you see Patanjali Yoga Sutras also, they also talk about Chit Vritti Nirodha. All these agitations of the mind should be stopped. All these thoughts. Self can only be known in thoughtless state. Because the one who is entertaining these thoughts has to die. Ego has to finish. Then only you will see what it is. And that what it is never changes, never dies. It has no name, no form. It is not a person. No body can own that it is me. Every body has that same awareness. Unchanging. Give your whole identification to that awareness, not to body. Body moves, body functions, body has designation, body has a job, relationships. You understand this body has so many relationships. Brother, sister, husband, wife, grandfather, mother, child, employer, employee, and it keeps changing. And some people have many names also. A nickname, a family name, a work name. It is all changing. Now come to that awareness which is unchanging, which never changes. If we can do just this small task of identifying ourselves as nameless, formless awareness, we will attain supreme bliss and we will be out of this birth and death. And we will be in our Ananda, with or without body. Every being, everything is us only. Exactly like when you dream, every being, everything is you only, isn't it? Coming from your own mind. You cannot blame your next door neighbor or your spouse that you have created this dream to me, good or bad or whatever. Who is to blame or who is to give credit? You only. Bhagavan used to say, dream is a short dream at night and the waking is a longer dream. That's all. No other difference. They both are useless. Our mind gives importance to things that this is very important what I am doing. And so-called intellectual people or educated, they are after some relative knowledge, trying to tease and to understand things and forget that who they are, no time to understand themselves. Because this illusory Maya has so many things on its plate, we all can choose one thing or the other. And that is why we keep getting birth again and again, because we have thousands of interests, hundreds of desires. And so the cycle continues, unending. Someone asked a saint, Annamalai Swami, who was the devotee of Bhagavan, and he keep insisting one thing, that I can't do self-inquiry. And I am a Westerner American, I find it very difficult to understand that I am not the body. But I want to be happy. Now give me any other alternative to be happy all the time. And Annamalai Swami said, there is none. There is no permanent solution. You have to know yourself. That is the only way. No other alternative. But people find their alternative. They go into drugs. They go into indulgence. But at the end, it all gives rise to suffering only. All this hippie culture and freedom and all those things, it didn't work. Real freedom is freedom from the mind, and real happiness is again knowing the self. No other way. There is no other way. Yes, there can be different paths to know the self. And self-inquiry is one of the direct paths. Pranayam can be there, japa can be there, yoga can be there, bhakti can be there. But the end, you have to know the self at the end. Bhagavan used to say, you pick up any path, at the end you have to come to this only. You have to drop this I. Or allow this I, individual I, to merge in self. We can postpone it. We are postponing. We have postponed for so many lives. If we are not interested, that's okay. Maya wants that. To continue like this. That is why from the snare of Maya, maybe one rare being gets out. Like it has a big net. To escape from it is not easy. Understand, this net is holding all the bodies. Only one who is convinced that he is not the body will be out, because we are not the body. This is so simple to understand. As long as you think you are the body, you are in bondage. The moment you know you are not the body, you are free. Because this whole net of Maya can only hold forms and names. It has no control on nameless and formless. We all are this nameless and formless. Even in this dream, this waking dream, that pure Brahman is witnessing all this talk and whatever is happening. It's happening in its very presence right now. And it is happening with its own grace. Grace on all of us. With grace, with permission. That pure self wants us to be back home within all of us. And from us, it only needs that we should be paying attention to awareness. It is not asking that the body's action should be stopped, or we should go into a cave, or we should not do what is meant to be done through the body. Just bringing our attention inwardly, that's all. Self wants all of us to be in peace, not in pieces. As mind is a distraction, it creates compartmentalization within us, while awareness makes us one. Not one family, but one, only one. All is one. One consciousness. It's only we who are manifesting in all these forms, different forms. In essence, we all are pure, untainted. And these external coverings, which are behaving in different ways, is all illusory. Whether we do contemplation separate, living in a room, keep working on it, or we do in a group, doesn't matter. But that fire should be there to abide in awareness, to stay as awareness. And don't identify with all these attributes, whether they are good attributes or bad attributes. Some people are proud of their body, some feel bad about their body or their circumstances. Real freedom is giving up this identity. The one who has given up identity will not be surprised by anything, not even death. Because death will come to body. We are not the body. So one secret to escape death is to know I am not the body before death comes to the body. Then death cannot touch you. That death cannot take away anything. Because you have created inner death much more profound than what death can take. When death comes to the body, the mind is not killed. Mind goes with the body. But when a jnani, when the realized one knows the truth, the mind is gone, mano nasha. Ego gone, mind gone, thoughts gone, identity gone. When death comes to the body to take that mind, there is no mind, there is no ego. Only the sthul sharir, the body which is visible, is dead. Awareness stays as it is. I know there are thousands of techniques nowadays. Mindfulness is in schools, in institutions, meditation. They are so good helping people to stay happy as much they can be in I am the body concept. But when we come to this transcendence, enlightenment, realization, then those techniques could be just stepping stones or preliminary stages. But the meditator has to die. That is the essence. Which nobody talks. Perhaps they don't want to die. They want to play the game and play it in the best possible way within those dimensions of time and space. And that's okay. But the one true seeker who wants to take that jump has to give up doership. Has to give up I am the body idea. Has to give up I thought. Withdraw your mind from all external interest. Bring it to the heart. Be with the awareness. Merge everything into it. This movie of the mind will continue as long as your interest continues in things. It's not things, if they continue, you will be in bondage. It is your interest. That too, your strong interest is your strong likes, your strong dislikes, your strong desires. And we all understand what strong means. Superficial choices don't create any bondage. Let's say you wanted to eat bread, but someone has made rice and you say, okay, I'll have rice then. They asked you, you said, I want to eat bread, but bread is not ready. Can you have rice? You said rice. That is not bondage. But bondage is if there is no bread, then you start crying and you make a big drama out of it. It holds for everything in life. When you are not putting your own interest in anything in this world, they call it udasin bhav, then the movie is going on as decided by divine, by prarabdha karma. You have no say, you stay like nothing. When you stay like nothing, a big change happens within. You get detached from everything. From this illusory dream, you get free. Because nobody in this world also wants someone who doesn't do anything. If you are in a team and you don't contribute anything, automatically you are out of the team, isn't it? If you are not contributing anything in this Maya, Maya also gets frustrated with you. If you have no say, then you are already free. Because that is the job of mind, to like, to dislike, to criticize, to analyze, to judge, to whinge, to feel proud or to feel guilty. All this drama, what we see in movies, is our own drama all the time happening in our life, in families, in society, in nation, whole world. No logic. See whatever is happening in the world, it looks so absurd. Give up your interest and just stay as a witness to things and bring your interest to know who you are. I'll tell you, it is a very interesting pursuit. It's not boring. And it's not also that it's not productive. Maybe you might be more productive if you do that. But mind says, why should I do that? So many things to do. I'll do it when I'll grow really old, maybe 99. Why should I waste my time now? Let me indulge, enjoy, have a party, We'll start tomorrow. And that tomorrow never comes. And then next birth comes. Because so many people die in sleep as well. We are living at such a subconscious level, we don't even know when we are going to die. While if you live in awareness, you understand. You don't have to go to an astrologer to know when you're going to die. You know when this game will end. Just tune in with yourself. Flow of energy, what is happening. Start taking interest in your own self. Problem is we feel so bored knowing ourselves. And then we want others to have interest in us while we think we are boring. Why would others be interested in us when we are so boring? Take interest in yourself. Understand this self is the most divine thing, closest to us, not separate from us. It is us only. Some people believe in God. And they worship, not knowing they should worship themselves. Not the ego I am talking about, but that pure self. That God, what we believe in God, is our creation of mind only. How can creation of mind can be bigger than us? Understand this truth. You are before all these gods which your mind has created. You are that Shiva. No external to you. It is you. That awareness is primordial. Everything has come from that only. When we worship external God, we make sure that our ego stays intact. And we stay as ego always. Start giving respect to this Brahman within you, that energy, that awareness, which is creating this show, this body, this mind, this word, all coming from that. A child does all the stupid things, but when the parents are there, he behaves. He is more disciplined because he is scared and he has respect for his parents. But we continue all stupid things knowing that divine, that absolute is in our heart. Nobody knows what we do, but that knows. The day our all acts are exactly in harmony with the divine within our heart, we will have self-realization. When there is no duality, when the ego is not creating its own little kingdom with thoughts, with desires, with attachments, and it surrenders to that divine in the heart, then the duality which we perceive ends. And that divine, that absolute, that God manifests. And that manifests and is known to God only, not to us in ego. So that jiva dissolves, that soul is no more separate. Only Brahman is left. The best form of bhakti is to know that we are that self, we are that Shiva. Spend whole day in devotion of that. Not by sitting in a room and clapping your hands, but paying attention to that awareness, that pure awareness all the time. It never leaves, it never sleeps. Mind sleeps, mind dreams, mind is awakened. We are not the mind. Body does actions. We are not the body. See body as a second person. Body has been given a name. Talk to your body with that name. See how big difference it will create in you. How much shanti, peace you will experience. Because awareness is only peace. And awareness is contentment. And awareness is bliss. And awareness is also that pure love for everything. Because substrate of everything is that awareness only. You know in you, you know in everyone. You know everyone more than they know themselves. This is the truth. Nothing can hide from you. Like everyone, everything becomes transparent to you. Because all what we see forms are all illusory, like mirage. It's only awareness, freely flowing, unobstructed. It's not that awareness in you, awareness in me, and in middle there is no awareness. It is all awareness. There are two things where our attention can go: projection of mind, which is the word, or taking a back seat and being that screen on which the mind is projecting this image, these things. Some people feel self-realization is only for someone who is doing practice for 500 years, sitting in a cave. It is not for us. Mind can give all sorts of lame excuses. Self-inquiry is for all of us. If we are not mature enough for self-inquiry, we will become mature if we keep working on it. It might take a bit longer. Rather than days, weeks, or months, it might take years, but that's okay. I know some people are worried about so many concepts and things. No need. More concepts you practice and you try to understand, you are getting into a trap. Just pay attention to awareness. Be with that. Automatically, your interest in so many things will go away. Your dress sense, your appearance, and what people do, or to call someone. Actually, you become more or less useless for society. But you are so much in your Atman that you have no clue how things are happening. And the moment you have no clue, that absolute takes care of everything for you. I know people are worried about everything. They plan and they again plan and they have so much of planning going. The moment you enter into yourself, when the mind is dissolved, you have no clue. And then another thing happens, things are still happening, and you can only pay humble regard to that power, how things are happening. And they are happening in a more better, pleasant, and harmonious way. This doership goes away because doership continues because we think, I thought, I planned, I did, I have done. This is the problem. Not knowing that with prarabdha karma, as Bhagavan says, if it has to happen, it will happen. Whatever you plan not for it to happen. And whatever, even if you want it to happen, and if it has not to happen, it will not happen. Whatever practice you do. So in both ways, there should not be any doership. But so long you continue with your thoughts and you believe in thoughts, you will always have doership. Surrender all your personal identification to that Supreme. As if you are like a dry leaf in wind and it's taking away wherever it has to. You have no say. Abide in your supreme bliss as awareness. Know this awareness. Pay attention to awareness. Put efforts of attention to stay in awareness. And then it becomes natural, effortless. Everyone who has realized self will experience exactly the same. Language can be different, examples might be different, but if someone interested in comparative religion or comparative spirituality, you can compare the notes. It is exactly same. In India, they have worked on the lines of enlightenment for thousands and thousands of years. And everyone has looked into a path which is suitable for them. And that's why there are thousands of paths. You come to India, so many sects, so many ways. If you pick up yoga, there would be hundreds of types of yoga. So many ways, each suited to each individual. Ultimately, we should know what we are, that's all. Whatever way it works. No path is bigger or smaller, they are all equal. They all take us to the same summit, peak of self realization. Right now in satsang, there are so many names with different forms, different age. But that's all external. Awareness has no age. Awareness is unborn. It is unchanging. It is not young or old. Be with that. Identify yourself with that. Experience that as you. Mind goes away in deep sleep, but awareness is always there. So nobody can say, "Oh, I lost awareness." Even when we say, "I lost awareness," we are saying in awareness. Everything is happening in awareness. We are that pure awareness. If you believe in a form of God, then call that awareness as that God. Give it utmost respect. Some people feel themselves as sinner. They think I've done so many things wrong. Because they still have doership, that's why they think like this. When we have I am the body idea and I am the doer, then all the story of the body we take as my story. Even if there might be suffering through body, we still have attachment to that story. Awareness has no story. It is in all bodies, but it is uninvolved in all bodies. Have a taste of it. With little practice, we have done so many things in this life, so many interests, hobbies, professions. Now pick up this as your hobby, profession, whatever you call it. To know myself before I die. Write down somewhere this Mahavakya. I will know myself before I die. And everything will help you in that. If awareness is doing everything and you want to be only awareness and you have no interest in anything, then do you think awareness will not help you? For petty desires, people go to temple, mosque, church, and they get all what they want, all those petty things. Then you don't want anything. You only want awareness, just to know. Then you think awareness will not help you? That is why they say you take one step and that takes 100 steps or 10 steps, whatever you believe in. Using the term God can be very misleading because for a lot of people, God means so different than us. We keep God on a different pedestal as in a form or whatever our mind's concepts are. But when we say it awareness, it is the same. If you wish to call it God, yes, you can call it God. But it is absolute, it is nothing beyond it. Practice is needed only initially. Initially, the mind will resist. But once that awareness starts unfolding, then it's unstoppable. Then there can be tears of joy, emotional changes, bodily changes. Awareness is like a guest. When you respectfully invite this guest, he will come to your home, he will stay. He will stay as long as you give respect to it. But if you're not interested, that guest will never come. Same is this awareness. Your interest, your respect, your humbleness, and your full attention to it, to the exclusion of all other interest, will make it manifest. and will make you one with it. In this materialistic world, how much flattery we do if someone is important for a job, for a business deal, or even for small things. People invite for dinner or give costly gifts. What do? They give you that job or some increment or do your work. But do they make you themselves? Do they give you their position? No one does that except Brahman. You look for it, you pay respect to it, and it makes you himself only, not a level below or giving you a little bit of siddhis and saying to you, you just get off. It makes you that. How big is this thing? Nobody does that. I have never seen. And it makes not one person as that. All, if billion peoples are interested, it will make billion peoples that. Whole humanity that. It's not there is a quota, there are only 10 seats in a year. So 10 people will get realization. Everyone can get it. And it's also not that you will get it after 6 months or 3 months. It's an instantaneous thing. Depends how much you are ready for it. If your approach is lukewarm, it will take years or maybe many births maybe. If you have intense longing, then it is instantaneous, same moment. It is a one-way path. When I speak to some people, they say it's coming and going. It's coming and going, you are still having an ego. That's what it means. You are so close, you are feeling the breeze, you are feeling the fragrance, you are feeling the peace, but the ego is still there. That's why you are calling it an experience and coming and going. Make it all or none. Just finish it. Be in it, merge in it. Investing on body is investing on short term gains. Investing on awareness is investing on eternal gain. Let's say we keep investing on body, pleasure, joy, happiness coming from materialistic things. How long can you enjoy it? 100 years? Then the body will be dust. Then again starting the same. It's like snake and ladder game, never ends. But once you know who you are, no effort, no birth and no death. Whatever mind brings to you in form of your life, ignore and stay in your own silence. It will get rid of you all mental afflictions. All thoughts will be like drops on a lotus leaf, nothing touching, nothing affecting. Abide in your pure silence. Be with your silence in your heart all the time. Let thoughts be there, let everything be there. Give up your relationship. Stay as awareness. Om Shanti Shanti.